Hello, friends. I really want to thank you for clicking on my YouTube video. And I wondered if you're like me and every day you wake up and turn on the news, you end up being astonished and amazed and appalled by what is happening to our dear, beloved country. And I wanted to thank Mr. Andy Andrews, who wrote the amazing book, A Story of Second Chances, and a deep study in forgiveness. It's called The Heart Mender, and I hope you will all read it. But in this book, there is one page that jumps out and hits you over the head. And it is an explication of Alexander Tytler's 1787 declaration that there are 8 steps in the life, 8 stages in the life of a democracy. And once I read this amazing piece of wisdom declared way back in 1787, I now understand what is happening to our country is not the fault of the Democrats or the Republicans, not even the fault of Joe Biden or even Donald Trump. No, it's just the natural progression of a democracy that is seen over and over in history. And again, historian Tytler declared this cycle of democracy that I want to share with you today. It explains everything to me. And again, I realize it's nobody's fault. We're just falling through the natural progression. Well, here goes. And I hope you'll all have a chance to read The Heart Mender. It's an amazing book. Way back in 1787, a wise man said, "A democracy cannot exist as a permanent form of government. It can only exist until the voters discover that they can vote themselves largesse from the public treasury. From that moment on, the majority always votes for the candidates promising the most benefits from the public treasury, with the result that a democracy always collapses over loose fiscal policy, always followed by a dictatorship. The average age of the world's greatest civilizations has only been 200 years. These nations have progressed through this sequence, from bondage to spiritual faith, from spiritual faith to great courage, from courage to liberty, from liberty to abundance, from great abundance to selfishness, from selfishness to apathy, from apathy to dependence, and then from dependence back into bondage." These are the words of Scottish historian and professor Alexander Fraser Tytler in 1787. In the annals of history, a truth unfolds. Lord Tytler's wisdom in stories untold. 8 stages of democracy, a cycle so clear. From bondage back into bondage, we must steer clear. Oh, the stages of democracy we must embrace. From faith to dependence, we must find our place in the grand cycle of nations. Where do we reside? Let's journey through time with eyes open wide. We started in bondage, seeking freedom's light. With spiritual faith, we set our sights high. Through courage and strife, liberty we found, but abundance and plenty soon did surround. From abundance to complacency, we slowly descend. Our values and virtues we begin to suspend. Apathy creeps in as we take things for granted, and dependence follows like a path we planted. Now we stand at a crossroads, the future unsure. Will we break the cycle and be able to endure, to escape the grasp of dependency's chains? We must unite as one to break these reins. In 1787, Tytler made this sad claim: no democracy can be permanent, and no one is to blame. Voters soon will discover lots of money they can get by voting for a leader who buys votes and ignores the debt. This leader makes a lot of short-sighted, needy people happy, but the effect on the economy ends up being pretty crappy. These loose fiscal policies soon will take their toll. In 200 years, democracy crumbles, then the people lose control. In our democracy, republic, the end is in sight. To avoid falling back into bondage, we all must unite. Let's let the Bible guide us as we forge a new age. God help to the USA, to a bright new day. When God's kingdom rules on earth, everything that is wrong now will be made right.